Let's be honest. Have you ever started something meaningful, then watch yourself slowly ruin it? You tell yourself you will commit this time, but then slowly find yourself ghosting, quitting, or overthinking your way out. Well, this isn't laziness. It's just self-sabotaging. And self-sabotage has deeper roots than you think. Today, we're breaking it down, and I'll walk you through how to break this habit. Self-sabotage is actually self-protection, self-defense in disguise. It's not a personality flaw. It's a coping mechanism. The thing is, it usually shows up when you're close to growth, close to intimacy, or maybe visibility. Unfortunately, when you were raised to expect the worst, success can feel dangerous. You might find ways to avoid it. It might feel like you want to be successful, you want to do something good for yourself, you want to accomplish, you want to commit to this path. But deep down, is it really worth it? Is it not scary? All the paths that lead to it, is it going to be good enough? Perfect enough? Or maybe, what if the worst happens on the way? Is it worthy to be taking that risk? You could also find yourself feeling this emotional numbness when things are actually going well. You are doing wonderful, you're getting a lot of praise, and you're actually accomplishing things, but for some reason, to you, that doesn't feel like a big deal. Is it really an accomplishment? Did you really make it there? Or are these people just trying to motivate you? Are they being fake? So why are we self-sabotaging? It is often rooted in fear of disappointment, rejection, exposure. And to identify this, you would need to do a little deep dive and find when you used to feel rejected or overexposed. How did you make anybody disappointed? When you go deep down and try to answer these questions and find where is it exactly, or when was it exactly you felt all of these. You felt like you disappointed somebody. You felt like you got rejected. And you're not going to get all of the answers right away, maybe, but your nervous system registers success as unfamiliar. It's not safe. So even if you don't get the exact answers right away, just know that it is written in your mind that success is somehow not safe and that you shouldn't really be reaching for it. And slowly but surely, if you give enough time and consistency to it, you will be able to identify the patterns that led you here. It is always easier to ruin something ourselves than just sit back and wait for it to be taken away from us. That's also nerve-wracking. Why would I complete this path, accomplish what I am to accomplish, only for it to have a risk of being taken away from me? Well, you know what? Let's not go there. I'll just take it away from myself now. This is the pattern. This is the thought that we keep repeating to ourselves. Well, how do you start shifting from that? Realizing these thoughts and noticing them and letting yourself know that these are just thoughts and they just come and go. They're not facts. They don't have to be true. They don't have to hold a big value. Let it be like a breeze coming. You're kind of feeling it on you, and then it just passes you. Let it go. They're just thoughts. They're not your truth. They're not facts. They're not what makes you you. Okay, here are some things that we can do to start this shifting. First of all, we will be catching the pattern. Where do I start to sabotage when things feel good? You pause and you name your fear. What am I afraid this will mean about me? Then you do a value-based action. Even with fear, what would my healed self choose? And then you go with compassion over control. Be kind to the part of you that is scared. Self-sabotaging is not the end. You are in the beginning of something, actually. You are realizing that there's something that you've been doing, maybe your entire life, and now you're noticing that this is not fitting you. It doesn't feel good anymore. You don't want these kind of behaviors coming out of you. It just doesn't feel like you, maybe. Well, congratulations. That's the first step. You have some insight. You have some awareness now. With this awareness, you can actually work through changing things, because our brains are wired to change. We can change ourselves. Our brains change over time. And for this to happen, all we need to do is to put in some action. Committed action. Think of it like going to the gym. Okay, me writing this down on my planner, getting myself a gym membership, and telling everybody, this is what I'm going to do. This summer, I'm going to get myself this fit body. I'm going to the gym. Okay. And then, are you actually going? Same with your brain. When you want to make changes, physical changes, because the physical change happens in our brain, right? And for that, we need to exercise. We need to put into actions everything that we have put our minds to, that things that we want to change, the patterns that we have identified. I just noticed that I'm self-sabotaging. Good for you. Now what? Well, now you're going to find everything, every situation, every pattern that you end up engaging in this behavior. Then you're going to exercise. This time, I'm going to do things differently. And with that exercise, your brain is going to gain strength. And it's going to feel it feels so much like going to the gym, and you're going to feel sore. Right? How does your brain feel sore? It might get foggy. It might give you a headache for sure. And sometimes you just want to maybe be left alone in the quiet, in the dark, because you might feel a little overstimulated. All of these are good things. They're not necessarily bad. It just means that you are doing something. A change is happening in your brain, and you are trying to cope with it. Your brain is trying to cope with it, all the changes, and get used to them. It takes time. This is your path. You have chosen yourself a new path. It might be very scary because it's a path that you haven't walked before. You not knowing what you're going to face, what's going to come up in front of you throughout this journey might feel very scary. That's okay. Just know that you made this decision for yourself. and only you can stick to it, and only you can make this happen. And you are going to put in all that committed action into this to be able to reach that goal. And it could be a lifelong journey too. It's not like point A to point Z. Yes, you are going to get to point Z, but the thing is, all we knew was A to Z. Then you're going to discover there is more after Z. And you're going to continue this path according to that, according to your values, your choices, things that fit you, and that doesn't feel off. Remember that job that you're going to every day only to feel worthless? You're not going to have to go to it anymore because you're making yourself go through that. It's the one familiar thing, maybe the most familiar thing, to not feel like you're worthy enough. And you chose to put yourself into that situation. You chose that job. Now, after working on this self-sabotaging and figuring out your patterns and defense mechanism, you're not going to have to deal with that job anymore. Or that partner that made you feel like you're not enough. You chose that partner because not feeling enough is a familiar feeling for you. If I went and found someone who is loving and caring and sharing all the responsibilities with me and, living this life together with me side by side, sounds good, but is it worth it? I mean, I don't know what's going to come from that. But I know what's going to come from this partner. I know what to expect. It's familiar. Plus, that partner, I might end up losing them. Maybe we'll get a divorce. Maybe we'll break up. Let me just not go there. Let me just not give that. Let me not give that to myself at all. Okay. So you're going to bring this self-sabotage to an end with a compassion, knowing that this is very new. You haven't done it before. It's absolutely scary, and it takes a lot of courage and confidence. So giving yourself a lot of compassion, a lot of time, a lot of room to make errors. It's okay if you find yourself sabotaging again and again and again. Just notice, has it decreased at all? I did this probably like 50 times yesterday. Today it's 48 times. Good for you. That's the self-compassion that needs to be happening so that you can successfully get to the point that you want to get to. Don't judge yourself. Don't criticize yourself. Others might have done plentiful of that. You don't need to do that to yourself. Remember, self-sabotaging is not the end. It's just a signal within you stating that there is something that needs your attention. Give yourself that attention.